Hello, welcome back. Boxer1 here. You saw the thumbnail. Usually I like doing up close so you can actually see all the detail, but there's a bit to go over in this one. This is a vintage parts collection tour from, I think, 3 years of collecting vintage Lego. Obviously, or not obviously, but I don't go online. I don't buy stuff online. So none of this is from online purchases. It is all in-person transactions, we could say. But we also have some sets which are incomplete here on the sides. But yeah, all of this is stored in 3 containers. This, blue and red boxes, and then 1776 Lego tub thing that I got for $2.99 or $2.50. I don't remember. Pretty cool. But yeah, we'll be looking at printed pieces, my collections, my favorite collection things to collect, minifigure parts, rare or like specialized pieces, just weird things, general, and then yeah, Technic and all that as well. So I guess there's no better place to start than with what you want to see, the minifigure. And as I said earlier, none of these are complete, and this is to the other section, but these are all minifigure parts that I think are really cool, and I don't know why there's a cardboard piece in there. Actually, I do know. I replaced the back of the shield since the piece was broken off. I glued a cardboard piece on there to fit a minifigure hand, and it does work. I did that with a Lionite shield as well since the back was broken off. Small fix. Anyway, we got some knight helmets. There's a gray one as well, dark gray. Then we have a nice diver's helmet. There's some cool stuff here. There's a wrench, this guy's torso. There's a, I believe, Ron Weasley, or just a general Harry Potter torso from the early 2000s. It is old gray. We got this old dark gray battle axe from Fright Nights. This weird racers guy. Floppy arm skeleton. And 2 things from Ninja, 1999. Which is a very cool theme, and I definitely like. Also Exoforce, which that's only in here because, well, it can be. And also a very rare part that's broken. Unfortunate. We can't stay too long on one thing, though. We have these vintage parts here from the 50s, or not the 50s, the early 60s. You can see this doesn't have a tube in the middle. These are the old cylinders. These are really cool. I do also have a massive set of these. Set, I believe, 450, if I'm not miscorrecting. Saying that. I don't know how to speak. But anyway, the printed parts are pretty cool as well. We have a very expensive $20 piece from a Blacktron set, Space Police, some other stuff like that. This is NBA. That's kind of cool. There's Pirates. There's this, a boat. I don't know where that came from. I think a basic set. Harry Potter piece here from the early 2000s. And there's just a lot of these faces and eyes. A lot of these as well. This is cool. M-Tron. Don't have much of that. Some stickered pieces. Some cool printed pieces as well from Classic Space. There's this piece, which does come in quite a few sets. I believe I got it from a Jack Stone set, though. And there's this jet ski front or something like that. I think that probably goes with that, if not in the same set, a very similar set. Fire stuff, just simple stuff like that. We also have my weird pieces, or like collecting things that I do. And this is one of those weird pieces. This is one of these winches that can has this big string on it. A very nice string, actually. Not too bad condition. It is a little frayed on the end, but as you can see, slightly rusty as well. But this is pretty cool. I quite like this. This would be used as a pulley on many other older sets. We have this, a car base. I just couldn't fit it anywhere else. A collection that I like is all these. I like trying to collect all of them. And I'm very not close, but we'll try. Another one, this massive tower, totem pole I call it, of this piece. I think it's 4222, wow, 4244, I think, maybe. I forget, but we also have this 2x3 slope pieces. We have some McDonald ones at the bottom. I actually have 3 of these and 1 complete set of it. But yeah, some pretty simple collections, and then a pirate mast. Or not mast, but one of the things you see where they can climb up on the side of the ship. Very cool. Then you get into this big conglomerate of random pieces. This should be in the rounded pieces category. Anyway, a lot of cool pieces. There's this Bionicle piece, the sword. I think it's actually quite expensive. I think $3 for used, so that's pretty cool. This leg, walker leg, which is from a Mars mission set, I believe. Turntable, very cool. There's some other cool stuff in here. Window, I mean, that's pretty basic, but you know what I mean. Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff. Jack Stone, there's flags, there's this old faucet, which goes to a couple sets, and I quite like. You don't see it often anymore, but it's very cool. Well, that's because it's not made anymore. I mean, you don't see it often talked about, is what I meant to say. You have a fire hose, which is complete. It has the fire hose on there. And yeah, there's some walls. This one is, some of these are pretty rare. There's a black one. I think I actually have the black one in here somewhere. But yeah, there's these rocket engine boosters, which are cool. I don't know where the black one is now that I say that I have it. This is General Oats, or General Mills. Not General Oats, General Mills. When they partnered with the Lego company. Unfortunately, mine is a little bent in the front. That's fixable. But what's not fixable is that there's a big chunk taken out of it. Anyway, now we can get on with the other parts, which are going to be pretty fast. We're going to go pretty fast through these. We have this one, which is just my transparent pieces. There's some cool ones like this, a nice slope. There's a 1x8, there's a 1x6s in here. There's 1x4s, including this. There's a very clear 1x4 in here. I don't know where I put it now that I talk about it. Here's a very clear 1x3. That's very nice. But there's a lot of these tipper truck windshield. This is an inverted one. There's a lot of these in here because I like collecting these to build tipper trucks. I only have one complete, but I'm working on it. We have another thing of plates, or not another thing, but just a thing of plates, if I can learn how to speak. Sand red grill piece, because that's always cool, and a green one in there as well. These are just older plates. Moving over here, we have some more transparent pieces. These are non-colored, and these are colored. Most of these are from a Jack Stone set that I was talking about earlier, the airport. This piece, I don't know what it's from, but it's just cool. Some more cool stuff here, like some old fire pieces from dragons and stuff like that. And these, also from Jack Stone. Very nice. Floral pieces. We have a big palm tree leaf, not broken, which is great. Parts of a palm tree base, also not broken. Great. If I get more of these, I can build a palm tree. Cool. One of these bushes as well. I like these. But some of these as well. I think I have every color. I don't know if they released them since, but I have every of the old colors that I remember. Maybe I'm missing white and black. But windows. More windows and more doors, mainly doors. I have a lot of these doors just because I can, and also because they're really cool and my favorite type of door, actually, that they made back then. And as I said earlier, I'm collecting these windows, so I have a ton of them. Cylindrical pieces, your favorite, or your nemesis, but these are very cool. I have some cones in here as well. I just like cylinder pieces. I also got a lot of 1x1 like cylinders in yellow at one point from a single lot. I don't think I had any before, or at least very few. And then I got like 10 to 15 of them. So that's why there's so many. Plates does have some cool stuff. There's these old space ones. This one I think is from an early 2000s. Either it's a Millennium Falcon or something else. I forget exactly. But either it's the first Millennium Falcon or I'm misremembering, which is very possible. We have other stuff here, just some common plates. The rest is nothing too interesting. But we do get onto this, which is even less interesting. Yay! Just 1x whatevers. I just think they're cool. This one's a little scuffed, but the rest of them are in pretty good condition, and there's some pretty nice ones in there. There's some old brown as well, which is always nice to get. And next up, we have these, what do you call them, slopes. And we have a very cool sand red slope here. That's my favorite piece in this entire piece thing. Wow, I can speak well. This is cool as well. I think that comes in a couple space sets, or I may be misremembering as always. This also comes in, I believe, the same set as that. And there's just some cool little slope pieces here. Next up, we have wheels and stuff. Stuff is my favorite thing to have. But there's some cool things here. There's a lot of these with the specifically in gray. I have a lot in gray and a lot in yellow. I have a couple in red and I have a couple in black as well. They're actually being used in, I believe, what is the Batarax, which I'm trying to complete. You can see some substitute pieces in there, which I have the figure to it, and I have, I think, the main printed part on the front to it. So I'm trying to complete that one. But anyway, a lot of cool wheels here. There's some older stuff in here, some not slightly newer stuff, like this is 90s. Came in some Technic sets. I actually have one of the Technic sets, or at least the instructions to it. Don't have actually much of the set, unfortunately. Cool car base from a police car, and I think some other sets as well. And just general airplane parts and stuff like that. Next, we have my hinges. My favorite thing, actually, is collecting hinges and transparent pieces. I just think they're cool. And we have a lot of them here. We have these massive windows, which I still don't know if they're real. I've looked them up, couldn't find anything on them. They're basically, okay, they're very similar to this. But they're so similar to Lego hinges that I don't know if they're a knockoff or if they're Lego. So, if you know, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Just, if you know, you know. Anyway, cool dozer front. or something like that. Some hinges like this, which are great to find, especially if they're not broken. That one isn't. So I have a lot of colors of these. I actually have, the only built set I have of these part sets is this, which I'm trying to complete. This is the Exxon truck. I have the 2 exclusive printed parts. This was only released in the States, so I just thought it's a cool set to have. But anyway, there's some cool stuff here. More hinges, even more hinges, as you'd expect from a hinge bag. Next, the most boring thing, basic parts. These are the older than like 1980s parts, maybe 1970s, maybe early 80s, but these are mainly earlier than the 80s. Wow, English. And here we have some newer than the 1980 parts, including some cool base plates from some basic sets. This is actually quite a big one. As you can see, I actually have a bigger one. I believe it's 10 by 20, and that goes to set 113, as well as some other basic sets, or not basic, but universal building sets, UVBs, my favorite. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. I just thought I'd show it as well. I also thought I'd mention these pieces, which I'm trying to get a complete collection of which I have 5 out of a billion. But yeah, I'm trying to get one of every color, and I have black, blue, red, white, and dark green for some reason, because that went to an old Harry Potter set. Very cool. Finally, what none of you have been waiting for, Technic, my favorite thing. It's not my favorite thing, nor will it be, but I quite like some of the cool things that they did have with Technic. One of them being this pneumatic set, of which I have none of the pneumatics, but a lot of the pieces. Oops. I quite like it. I think it's cool. I like pneumatics. I do have a nearly complete pneumatic set. It has all the pneumatics. It's just missing like a couple pieces, and I'm waiting for, hopefully we're going to be ordering a hose, one of the pneumatic hoses online, to complete it, or at least get it to a condition where I'm ready to review it. So that'll be cool. But yeah, this is a car, or the instructions for the car. I don't actually have much of these set, but I got all of this, or not all of this, but the box, the instructions, and a bunch of pieces, Technic and otherwise, for I think $11 at a vintage place, antique store type thing, Emporium, I don't know what you call it, something like that. As you can see, set 8225, of which I have the very cool steering mechanism for it. It's mixed in here with all the other pieces, which are in this very cool tray. So if you actually lift the tray out, we can actually look at it. There's some Bionicle stuff. There's this foot, which is very cool. Old Bionicle, a lot of old Bionicle. This is actually from a Happy Meal toy, also Bionicle. But there's some cool stuff in here. There's wheels. There's old dark gray pieces. There's gear. That's cool. More of these because I kind of mixed them up in here and then in the wheel section. And one of these, which also goes to Bionicle, but doesn't really fit in here. But either way, it's pretty cool. That's like a $3 piece. And these as well also go into a Super Battle Droid from, I believe, 2002. I could be wrong about that. Could be 2003. But something very cool, which I don't have complete, as you'll notice with a lot of this. But either way, there's a lot of cool pieces in here. Another thing is this actually goes to that pneumatic set that I have almost complete. Might as well show it. And that's what that looks like. As you can see, this piece is supposed to be yellow. I mean, there's a couple other things like that. Blue piece is probably also supposed to be yellow. And I'm missing one gear as well. So, yeah, this is the red set that's actually on the front of the box. And it's missing quite a bit, but it's actually not that bad. I'm missing a lot of pieces, but it's mainly the pneumatic things that are the problem. And finally, my favorite Technic thing that I have, this Expert Builder Sets poster, which is very cool. And the front of it looks very cool as well. It does open up. I might as well just show it here. And that's what that looks like. Very cool. If I wasn't worried about ripping it, I would hang it up on my wall. But I also don't have much wall space. I guess I have enough to hang it up. Maybe I'll do that someday. Maybe that could be a cool little short or something. But either way, very cool poster from 1983, printed in, I believe, West Germany. Very nice. And this is the back if you're curious. It has that picture up there, and it also has a list of all the sets of the time, which are extensively cool. And there's also this order thing. I believe it's, where is it? Mail order pieces. You can buy sets of pieces for a certain amount of money. The most expensive being this piece, being $6.50, which if you look at them now, they're a lot more than $6.50, let's just say. But you can get some cool pieces off the mail-in order. It even has the old Susan Williams on there. Definitely a real person, as we know. And yeah, very cool. Effective through March of 1984. You think we're a little bit past that, maybe? Just like 42 years. Oops. And with that, that is it. I'll do a quick little, hopefully, show you everything kind of at once, although it's blurry because of course it is, and I'm using a tablet that's now nearly 10 years old now, or actually it is 10 years old, so great video quality as you'd guess. But this is very cool. I'm excited to have all these pieces, and hopefully I can build a MOC someday out of them. I was thinking of MOC ideas, and I built a MOC maybe a year ago now that was actually my best MOC I've ever made. It was like a pod racer inspired one, and I just enjoyed that so much, and I think it turned out really good. I still have it up even. This very cool MOC right here, which is just absolutely great, and my favorite thing I've built ever, maybe. So if you'd want to see a MOC built from maybe these pieces or just with my newer pieces as well, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that sometime soon. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll forget about this entirely like I always do. But hopefully I can come up with a cool idea to actually do that. Anyway, I shall see you next time, and goodbye.